Hi and welcome to this week's episode of Split the E podcast. I'm your host, Sean O'Grady. In this podcast, we take local artists out for a Guinness. In my local, the Smiths, in the back, in the Forge for a Guinness. We're going to split the G. My guest this week is Mya Lowe. This is your first time doing the Split the G challenge. You ready to get into it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Salute. Oh, I fucked it up. Way off. Both of us. We have to go back and study.
Whoa. That's a big goal.
It is huge, right? It's kind of harder than...
I'm going to cry.
Please don't cry. So you had a busy week. You released your latest single, hydra'srevenge.
I did, yeah. That came out on Friday, December 23rd.
So how is it? Did you get your revenge?
I mean, the concept for the revenge part is like I wanted to like coin this term about what I was feeling, and I don't know how to describe it in like a way that makes sense, but I wanted to be able to be like, somebody does something and you're like, that's hydra'srevenge.
Okay.
So basically it's like, I kind of like made a list of things that would be hydra'srevenge, and one of them is your ex dreaming about you. That's hydra'srevenge. Being chased through the woods, hydra'srevenge.
And then there's a quote like, when will it end?
Yeah, when will it end?
When will it end?
When does it end? hydra'srevenge. And then I just kind of wanted this like idea of, I wanted to be haunting somebody and like I was their night bearer. Obviously a hydra is a mythological creature that when you cut its head off, it grows back stronger. So just kind of this like idea that I'm never going away. Like, you're never getting rid of me. I hope you think about me all the time. I hope I haunt your dreams. It's never gonna end.
She's coming for you.
I just kind of wanted
like
something.
And smash and get on that song, yeah.
I just kind of wanted something fun and like tongue-in-cheek, something like a little cheeky.
Yeah.
That was like a cool little idea, and I love the idea of like a hydra. And I don't know, when I was writing the song, I was like, I wanted something, I knew I wanted it to be something's revenge. I wanted it to be like some type of creature or like a name of something, and I was like, oh, hydra, so that kind of all like makes sense.
Where does hydra come from? I was looking it up.
It's Greek mythology.
It's Greek mythology.
Yeah.
But Hercules killed it, and him and his son.
Yeah, and so and then also there's like the Percy Jackson movie where they cut its head off and then it grows back, and it's just kind of this like never-ending thing. It's like, it's
because if you cut one, it grows back twice.
Yeah, it grows back like two or like three times. So I was like, that's a really cool concept to kind of like play with. And you know, instead make myself the monster. Like, I'm now
with crimson eyes and canine teeth.
Yeah. The imagery in that song, I think, is really, really important and really special to me. But yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay, we're going to park that for a little bit and take me back to when you started getting into music.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing music my whole life, essentially. My mom was a singer. And so she would do like weddings, and she was in bands when she was younger.
I thought you were going to say weddings and funerals.
No, she did weddings, and she was like in bands and stuff, and so she'd always sing to me as a kid. And then my grandfather was also really musical as well, and I feel like I kind of just like grew up in that realm. And then
what were the influences that your mom was pushing on you as the music in your house?
Honestly, everything. Like, she loved like the pop punk scene kind of in the early 2000s, but then she was also into all the classics as well.
So Avril Lavigne was big in your house?
Yeah. She was like a big part of my childhood, but then also like Simple Plan and like those other bands. You know, my mom had a really diverse style and genre that she like listened to like literally everything, which was really cool.
And was she in a band and stuff like that as well as
she was in a band when she was younger as well. She'd like play gigs and stuff, and then sang at all the weddings. And I think everyone knew that she was a singer, which is like really cool. And then she kind of didn't really go through with it, so obviously I have to.
Yes.
For her.
Yeah. She's living vicariously through you.
Yeah, she's living vicariously through me, which was really, really fun and really special. But I think in the last the last 2 years, I started playing gigs in 2021, I think. I was doing them a little bit here and there when I was 20 at like Starbucks and stuff, because I worked at a Starbucks when I was like 20, and so they'd let me like have acoustic little shows, and then it kind of
this is here or in Kelowna?
This would have been in Kelowna.
Yeah,
I moved to Vancouver in 2022.
Okay, cool.
So I was doing a couple things in like 2019, like, you know, like acoustic stuff with like my friends, and then I moved here and then released my first single in 2023, and then started playing gigs and doing like live shows, and then got the band in October of last year.
Wow. Yeah. And when you were in Kelowna, like, was it a big music scene there, or was this more just in coffee shops?
A lot of coffee shops. Yeah, I did a lot of coffee shops for a really long time, and then I did like little benefit concerts and stuff, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So then there was no live music, and then things kind of started opening up, and I kind of went to more open mics, and I dragged like all my friends out to all my open mics and started doing a couple more open mics and just acoustic solo stuff. And then I got a couple gigs here and there, and then moved to Vancouver and was like, okay, I'm gonna like take it seriously and move here and see what we can do.
And throughout all that time, are you writing?
Yes. I've never not been writing. Like, I'm constantly writing. That is my like journal aspect. It's like I'm constantly writing. I don't know. I have too many thoughts.
Get them on paper.
We gotta get them on paper.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, always writing. Everything was original. I think I like have been writing since I was a kid.
And what was your first song that you released?
The first song that I released through the studio would have been 26.
26,
but then I also made a song on GarageBand in 2022 and released it, and it's called Borderline.
Yes.
I played it at the Fox. I played it on all my shows. But I think technically speaking, like the first like professional song that was like studio and like full release and like all that jazz was 26.
And 26, it's a song that you're moving away into a new city, and you're also kind of like trying to find your feet.
Yeah. I felt like moving to a new city is hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, I moved here by myself with my dog, of course.
Yeah.
And just kind of like everything that I went through. I think also like your 20s are such a crazy time. You're just up and down, all over the place. And the song like had kind of like has now turned into something that I'm like looking back on, and I'm like, wow, like I'm really proud of this.
Person now,
and like different parts of my life, and I'm like, it's cool to kind of look at them and see these like little chunks of my life. And it's funny because when I wrote it, I wrote the first like verse and chorus, and I had that all done, and then I wrote the rest of it in the studio, like just like then and there while we were there. And it's funny because I was writing these lyrics in the studio, and I was like, okay, this works. And now when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, it actually makes so much sense, even though I wrote them so quickly, and like it kind of didn't really fit in.
Yeah, because even if you look at the bigger picture of all your songs together, there is this story now where you're like from 26, you're kind of like you were saying that you're trying to make rent, you're going chasing guys that don't want you. Then Borderline is also like a guy who tells you that he's seeing another girl. And up into Hydra's Revenge now, where you're seeking you're
seeking the revenge. It's like character development.
Yeah.
I mean, really, yeah.
Is that all structured, like, or that just happened? Just
kind of happened. I mean, like, I'll get an idea, or I'll like either have a feeling, or my friends will say something, or just I'll gather things together and just kind of like come up with a concept, and they've kind of just all undone, like kind of gone, I don't know what the right word is for it, but they've kind of just like all unfolded.
Oh, that's a beautiful word.
In that way. Yeah. And that's like the magic I think about writing music is like sometimes you'll be stuck on something, and then sometimes it just kind of flows out. And I think those songs specifically just kind of like float out, which is really cool. But it's funny how it kind of is like stepping stones with all the songs. But I'm glad that people notice that. That's awesome. That makes me feel really good about it. I'm like, okay, there's like, we're doing this like little hierarchy thing, and I like
Are you like, you're going to release all of these into an EP at some stage?
Yes, I think that is the plan. I have a title and everything for the EP and like a concept, and like I have all these songs that I've been playing with the band, and I would really like to get them on the recordings because they've helped so much with the growth of these songs. And so I'd really like to be able to encapsulate that and have it all in one project, and then cap it, and then start a new era of like music and sound. And I'm really liking...
Because you'd be indie pop?
Yeah. So I'm like indie pop singer-songwriter, but I would like to move a little bit more into pop and like alternative and just kind of experiment with my sound. So
of course. How did you find your sound? Or how does that an artist does that happen organically or naturally, or just trial and error?
I feel like trial and error is a big part of it for me, like personally. I also like think you just kind of try and like put out what you can, and then in the end kind of tweak it and like turn it and like, you know, make it what you want. But I think when you're starting off, you don't really know. You have
a lot of like soft melodies.
Yes.
And then the lyrics are, you're like hurting.
They're very melancholic, yes. And I think that is something that I really focus on when I'm writing.
There She Goes is another song.
Yeah.
Is there like violins and like a
cello? No, there's cello in There She Goes, and there's also cello in 26.
Yes.
Because my producer is a
Who is your producer?
His name is Zero Visa Visa. His first name is Naaman. But yeah.
So he's like A-list is Zero Visa Visa?
Euro Visa Visa.
Euro.
Yeah, Euro.
Okay, right. Sorry, I misheard you.
No, okay.
Oh, no.
But his name is Naaman. Anyways, super, super talented.
How did you choose him?
Funny enough, we met right when I moved here at an art gallery like opening, and at the time I didn't know he like made music, and so we just kind of follow each other in social media. And then one day he was like, "Oh, I'm working at this recording studio. You should come by." And we did, and we've been working together. Yeah, so he produced 26, There She Goes, Hydra's Revenge, and he's very, very talented.
And who produced Borderline then?
Me.
You did Borderline?
Yeah. I did that with like Apple. No, sorry, not Apple. I did it with GarageBand loops.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, holy fuck. Yeah,
and I didn't master it or mix it. I literally just like did the vocals and like tweaked it and then posted it. Yeah.
What? That's class.
Which is crazy. I mean, the quality's like not terrible on it.
Oh no, it's unreal.
So I'm like, wait, I'm a producer now?
Would you like to get into producing?
It is very stressful. I feel like I'm comfortable with writing and singing and being on stage, but like the technical side of producing, I mean, I think it's interesting, and I always want to like learn. Would I ever be a producer? I don't know. Maybe.
One day.
Never say never, you know? I think it's good to be an artist and to have like really good insight on what you're creating and stuff, and being able to like look at things and know what you're doing. I think that like being hands-on is important. However, there are some people who just know it inside and out, and I'm not one of those people.
That's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I know other things.
You know where you stand.
Yeah, yeah.
You can write and sing.
Can write and sing, and I think those are the two important things for me. But yeah, I mean, producing is really cool, and I like have so much respect for producers because it's difficult. It is very, very, very complex.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah.
So last weekend, this last Friday, we were in the Fox Cabaret. You were performing with other bands. Unbelievable. How was your experience? You like? That's your second time in Fox Cabaret?
That's my first.
That's your first time in Fox?
Yeah.
You liked it?
It's so crazy.
It's a cool venue, right?
So insane. It feels like a real, like, honor to be able to play there.
Yeah.
A year ago, I had seen a show there with my friend and bass player Ayla, and we were just sitting in the audience, and we were both like, "Oh, we could do this." And then a year later, we've both played the Fox with our like solo bands, which is so insane. And I met part of my band members at that Fox show a year ago. I met my agency at the Fox show a year ago. So it feels really full circle. And it was one of those things where I was like, on my bucket list, I was like, I want to play the Fox. I was like, I really want to play the Fox. And then I did. And it feels so surreal. Take
me back to your meeting all your band member. How all your band,
So Ayla, who is also my best friend, but my bass player, we met originally at Trees Cafe at an open mic night situation. We were both playing, both solo artists at the time, and we were just like we should be friends. And then we became friends. And then went to that Fox show and met 2 of my previous band members. And then they invited me to play and open for them at the Cobalt, where I met my now current band members who also opened for us. So it's like shows and like band members, and we all just like vibed really nicely. And then
where's the Cobalt? That's on Main Street, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Super, super sick venue. But yeah, I met my other band members there, and now I have my current band members. And then, I don't know, we just like all vibed together really nicely. And we were like, wait, you're really cool. And then I was like, hey, like, would you be interested in like...
Just like cut to that Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends?
No, we just became best friends. No, and honestly, and that's kind of how it's been, which is like, I love, and I feel like I'm so fortunate because I know that sometimes the music industry can be scary and people can be not nice in any industry, not just music. But I'm so fortunate that my band members are so fantastic and like my best friends, and we feel like a little family, and it's so sweet. And I actually, when I was starting my journey in music, I didn't actually realize just like, I wasn't expecting to feel what I do for my band and be like, wow, you guys are like literally my best friends, and we're doing music.
Yeah. And
we're making my dreams come true. Like, it is just such a crazy thing. I literally, after the Fox show, I was just kind of like, wow, this is better than I could have ever imagined.
So when you're creating a new song and you have your band now, how does that work off? Do you start off by yourself with guitar and an idea and creativity? We don't know where it comes from, but it comes from somewhere, right?
Somewhere. I think a lot of the stuff is like I write in my bedroom, and I voice note it, and I play guitar, and then Google Drive, and I say, hey, I have an idea to do this in this part. I kind of want this to sound like this, and then we'll meet up for practice and rehearsals, and I just kind of give them free range to do what they want to do. Obviously, they know their instrument and they're so talented, and they just kind of do it. And then we'll tweak things here and there if we're like, hey, this should be this or this should be that. But I kind of wanted them to all be able to have a say in what goes on and what happens, and kind of create it because, like I said, they're so talented and they're so creative.
Yeah, because how I heard you first, it was in Secret Sessions.
Yes. Just solo.
That was solo, right? Yeah. So after hearing Hydra's Revenge then to now, since it's released, there's a beautiful bass, bass line is unbelievable, and then the keys added to it.
Yeah, the keys are so
it's so
beautiful.
Sweet. Yeah. I like collaboration is probably like the key of everything. Like, but that's super fun.
No, I'm so fortunate. I'm like in awe of everything that they've done and kind of created the songs and like put their own little sparkle onto them.
Was that Salt Bay?
Yeah, Salt Bay.
I did shave my head, right, but beforehand, everyone used to kind of look like Salt Bay a little bit.
That was your name. You wore the little glasses.
Well, my nickname was Sog, and then so I was like Sog Bay.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah,
I actually really like that. You're like, oh.
You also played another song that's not released, and it's called Callous.
Yes.
Is that going to be your next song?
Ooh, good question. I would like to get that out at some point. I don't think it'll be their next one. I think the next one I really want to do and release is The Hatchet.
Oh, whoa. Mm-hmm. So you went from being 26, borderline when she finds... This is right. I'm right.
Borderline is first.
Borderline? Yeah, borderline. 26.
There she goes.
There she goes.
Yeah, Hydra's Revenge.
Hydra's Revenge, right? But all in that order, it's like you leave Kelowna, and this is all like the topics of the song. Go listen to them, right?
Yeah.
But you leave Kelowna, and are they all... They're fictional in some way, or they are actually your life? Because you leave Kelowna, you come to Vancouver. You're on... There she goes. You reference the Belmont.
26 reference.
That's 26, yeah. Broadway or borderline. You're getting cheated on, and then there she goes. You're kind of going crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lyric of the song.
Yeah. yeah.
And now Hydra's Revenge, you're literally getting your revenge.
Get a revenge.
And now you're getting a hatchet.
No, that's crazy. The time I've never even thought about that.
And then if you release afterwards Callous, you get Callous from your hatchet.
you get
like,
cancer. Wait,
dude,
that's like a conceptual album.
this is my conspiracy of you, like.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things are fictional and some of them are not, and some of them are like obviously I'm gonna.
So who did you kill, Mya?
Well, that's for me to know, for you to find out. Yeah, funny. I never really thought about it like that. I just kind of was like in my feels and writing,
Yeah.
you know? And also the other thing is that like, obviously I've done music my whole life and I've loved it, but like, I don't know, when I wrote these songs, I kind of wasn't thinking that I'd release them and that people would like listen to them. And dissect them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something I'm kind of like realizing like, oh no. I'm kind of like, oh, wait. But a lot of them, some of them have influences on my life. Most of them do, obviously.
Okay, go on. Tell us about Hatchet. I'm dying to know now.
The Hatchet is essentially a song about, well, I have a bit on stage. Like, I love to use my stage time to practice being a comedian.
Oh, what?
So I love to say, like, little bits. And, like, my one thing...
This one goes out to my father. He was a roofer, so Dad, if you're up there...
No, it's crazy because my dad was at the show at the Fox.
Yeah.
And he was like, The Hatchet's my favorite song. And it is not an appropriate song. Like, if you listen to the lyrics, they're not appropriate for my dad to be like, hey, love that song. And I'm like... like, I almost was like, sorry, Dad. The Hatchet is essentially my bit with the Hatchet. And I started this at Trees Cafe, sang it for the first time a little while ago. And I was like, hey, has anyone here ever gotten back with an ex? And nobody said anything. And I was like, well, y'all are better than me. And then I started playing the song. Because the Hatchet's supposed to be like, the line is, I should have buried the hatchet when I had the chance.
Oh,
so I should have like let that go. And then, you know, you rekindle something or, you know, and this can go, this is not like all romantic. Like this can be an ex-friend or like, you know, you just think, you start missing somebody or something and then you think, oh, I'm going to go back. And then you're reminded why.
So you're like, you never go back, just keep on.
Yeah, you should just bury that hatchet and
keep on keeping on.
Go, you know?
Is that the lyric? Bury the hatchet and go?
No, the lyric is...
Why would anyone bury a hatchet? I always wondered that.
I have a question.
If you kill someone, you want to bury the evidence.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. My idea with bury the hatchet was just like, there was a problem, let's just leave it and let's
Get rid of
sweep it under the rug and let's get rid of it.
How many analogies can we have?
No, like literally.
So when you do sweep it under the rug?
Oh my God. No. So the line is, you can say I'm dramatic, but I should have buried the hatchet when I had the chance.
Okay.
And then,
Beautiful.
And the thing with songwriting, and I really, really like this, and it's kind of like a photo album, you know, is that you can listen back to a song and be transported right back to that time, and it's like how you felt at that exact time and everything you were going through. And I think that that's really, really cool to do and see.
Is your... Do you write a diary as well as writing songs, or is your songs your diary?
I think the songs are the diary, like,
yeah.
Honestly. And yeah, like I said, I was like, I didn't really expect them to like be dissected. I just was kind of writing things because I was feeling things. And of course, I always loved music, and then decided, I was like, well, I mean, I want to do music, let's put them out. And now we're playing these big shows and I'm like, wait.
So I just like, hypothetically, like, is it, I don't even know if this is a good question, but would you ever just write a song for yourself then? Or like every song has to be for yourself initially for you to write it? Where does an artist, they're like, okay, I'm going to write a song, but I think this is what people are going to think is good, compared to actually like writing a song where like it's a release of like getting emotions out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's a release of emotions. And if it sticks, it sticks.
There's never in your head of like, oh, this is what I think they're going to love.
No, you know I think that's when you lose art. And like, I understand that from like a, you know, marketing perspective, you want to write what people are going to enjoy. But for me, like I was never writing thinking everyone's gonna listen. I was writing because I was like, my feelings hurt. I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna write that down. No, I just think like it was just like an expression.
Yeah.
And was just writing. And then I've always really liked writing, and it's, like I said, super therapeutic. But I think when you start, dissecting what other people think, that's where you lose it. And that's also where you lose yourself. I think if you want to be really true to yourself, which is like so cliche, but I do think it's so true. It's like when you start looking at it from other perspectives that are not your own, when it comes to the art, who are you making music for then?
Oh, that's,
Right? Like, I make music for myself. I'm not making it for other people. Like, I'm making it for other people, obviously, and I hope that they relate.
Do you have to be in... talk to me about how you're writing, like how you get into the mind frame. Do you try and write every day, or like is there this kind of like a ritual towards your writing?
Yes and no. I think it's all over the place. I love to write in my bedroom. And I like to write in the car, like when I'm driving. I'll like put my phone.
That's
exactly what I do. I drive a Standard too, so.
Yeah, standard Tesla. Just
so I'm literally just
push
like
the button
clicking there, like clutching down. I'm like playing chords. No, it's been kind of funny. I mean, like, I'll get inspiration from other things, but usually it's like guitar. I sit down, do it. I don't write every day. I wish I did, but life is busy, and I'm still working a day job, and so I don't always have the energy. I think I'll get an idea, or like I'll see something, or I'll hear something and I'll voice note it and then kind of go back to it. Or I'll listen to a song and be like, wow, I'm so inspired. Like, let me sit down and write something. And the last kind of like spurt of writing that I had, like for me, I won't write for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden I'll hear or see something and I'll write 4 songs in like 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I did. My last like spurt, I saw this fantastic girl play.
What's her name?
Live. I don't remember her name.
That's okay.
I don't remember her name.
If you think about it, send it to me and I'll put it up.
Wonderful girl. And
that's her name, Wonderful Girl.
No, it was. She was so talented. And then I was like, wow, I really, really like, she was like a sad, melancholic writer as well. And
he live in Vancouver?
Yeah, at Trees.
Oh, wow.
My friend and I went and saw her, and I was just like blown away. Because like I write really sad music, and I've been kind of wanting to make more pop music. And then I was like, wait, no, my heart is so in the sad. And I saw this girl perform these really sad songs, and I was like, okay, wow. So stunning, like just such beautiful writing. And then I wrote at 8 a.m. I woke up and grabbed my guitar in my bed and wrote 4 songs. I like sent them off to like my closest friends, and they were like, whoa. They were like, you're just going, hey? Within like an hour, by 9 a.m., I literally had 4 songs that I'm like, wow, these are crazy. And full completed, like completely done. Not like completely like produced or anything, but like completely written and like composed and...
Buried the hatchet and
I
keep on
buried
going,
the hatchet, No, and then I just kept running. No, it was crazy though, because I was like, wow. And then that was a couple weeks ago, and then I haven't really like sat down and written any songs, but I would like to write some more. I really want to write more upbeat songs. We should get past the sad.
Yeah. So you, to bring it back and bring it all circle, so you're writing about how you feel and how you, so it's a documentarian style of writing. Mm-hmm. But now you've kind of, it seems like you're in a better place.
Yeah.
So you're like, do you find it hard to go back into them sad songs when you're performing? When you're like, I want to just get on to new things now? Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
No, it does. Yes and no, because now those sad songs, like I'm not emotionally sad about them. Now I get to
You've moved on.
Moved on.
Yeah.
Not only have I moved on, it's like these songs have now taken a life of its own with the band. And I'm like, the meaning of the song and everything that had happened at that time doesn't really mean anything anymore, because now there's all my band members are part of it. All the audience are a part of it. And the shows that we've played, it's kind of like, yes, it's a diary about my life and things that have happened, but it's now become a little bit bigger than that. And now I'm like, wow, like, I mean, when I was writing these songs, I didn't have my band members, and I didn't have a producer, and I didn't have all these people who kind of made it what it is. And now it's like got a little life of its own.
Yeah.
And I feel like I love those songs now, and I'm like, I love playing them, and I'm like, I don't really think about what they're about anymore, and I don't think about what I felt.
Yeah.
It's like easy for me to write something And even if I don't actually feel those feelings, it's easy for me to write them down, make it really sad, make you feel something, and then just move on. You know, bury the hatchet.
There she goes, off again.
There she goes.
How many fucking hatchets are buried?
No, my friends and I and my band members like quote.
Where'd you borrow it?
We literally, if we drop something, we're like, there she goes. Or like we do something in rehearsal, we're like, oh, there she goes. Or like my friends will call me and be like, oh my God. No, like the last time my best friend texted me a photo of an ad and it just said Hydra. And I was like, that's Hydra's Revenge. Or
nice.
My other friend called me and was like, oh my God, I was listening to your song and my ex texted me while I was listening to your song. And I was like, that's Hydra's Revenge. And it was the song Hydra's Revenge. I was like, that's exactly what that song means.
Perfect. Unreal. When you listen to other musicians and we were talking and you were saying that you got inspiration from crime scene investigation.
Oh yes.
What song is that?
That's Hydra's Revenge.
I thought it was the hatchet for a second.
No, that's too aggressive. No, so the bass line around Hydra's Revenge is actually, I was sitting watching Criminal Minds, if we're Criminal Minds fans, and the opening scene is they're coming and saving.
The intro to the song is where you got the... No.
The intro to the show is where I got the intro to the song.
What?
So, yeah, okay, so like when I say like my songs are like about things, they're like kind of about things, but they're kind of not. So the opening scene of the Criminal Minds episode, I was sitting on the couch and I was watching it, and like it's literally where they come and rescue somebody, and I was like, oh my God, is this the part where the good guys come save us? Which is the opening line of Hydra's Revenge.
Yes.
I'll count to 10, but I'm losing my patience. And so that was inspired by the whole song is inspired by the Criminal Minds, like, episode.
Wild.
Which is really cool, and I'm a really big Criminal Minds fan.
Is this the one with Ice Cube in it? No, Ice-T. Ice-T.
No.
All right, okay.
No, I think that's...
This is like the original
I
one.
want to say that's NCSI or like CSI Miami or one of those two.
I have no idea.
No. And then the second verse is a quote from Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds always has these quotes at the end of the episodes of like, you know, poets and on all these people. And the quote at the end of the song was, I tweaked it, obviously. We're not plagiarizing here. But the quote was something like...
Copyright.
No, literally. The quote was something along the lines of like, you know, if you... Like scars show that you've been alive or show your growth or something like that. And so I tweaked it and was like, to never have lived is to never know scars.
Oh, I like it.
And so, yeah, so there's two lines that are references to the show. And there's a couple different references in the song. The song is kind of like a quilt, like a patch quilt of ideas. There's the Criminal Minds references. There's the Greek mythological creature. There's also like some space references.
Yeah.
There's Mars.
You go back to Mars and then you're watching from the moon.
Yeah, so I'm a big girl for like bits. Like I love making a joke and like making a bit. Like I like to do it for the bit. One of my bits is if something like freaks me out or if something that would like drive me insane, I'm like, oh my God, that would send me to Mars.
Oh,
and so my friends and I now all say this funny quote when like something's crazy, we're like, that would send me to Mars. And so I wrote that in there because at the time I just kind of felt like not that I didn't belong on Earth, I was just kind of like, ugh, like, why am I, like as an artist and as like a creative, I'm like, am I weird? Like,
yes.
Am I normal? Like, what's going on here? Or like, when you're really emotional, I'm like, is this normal? And so I was kind of going through something where I was like, oh my God, I'm rejected from Earth and then sent back to Mars. And that's just kind of like an ode to like a joke that I make. Mm-hmm. I was kind of feeling it. It wasn't a joke. But yeah, and then there's a little riff in the song that's like, da 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 da, and it goes up on the guitar, and we tried to make it sound like you were a space cadet, and I really, really liked that reference. The song, like Hydra's Revenge, is very, like I really wanted to focus on the imagery, and I think we did a good job with that. But there's like so many different things that comes from it, but I think that's really cool.
It is. Yeah. It is very good. It's a very good song.
Thank you. If you were to ask me what song I'm most proud of, or like if I were to tell you I make music,
What song are you most proud of?
Hydra's Revenge.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm really...
Yeah. If somebody were to say like, if I told somebody I made music and they were like, okay, show me a song that you've made, I would show them Hydra's Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite artist in the city right now?
In the city.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, obviously I have to like plug my band members who are in their own bands.
Name them out there.
So Ayla Bryn, Aura, Ticket Takers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are like those people have all been part of my bands, and I've seen them a lot.
Yes.
And they're all freaking so talented.
And just to go back on to the Fox Cabaret at the weekend, Sonny and the Dudes.
Sonny and the Dudes, incredible.
Go check them out too.
Yeah,
they were.
incredible.
If you like the Kooks, I burnt the ear off from telling them that. I was like, well, I've been recently listening to the Kooks, and then they dropped a new album.
They're like,
since
this
I
guy's
was like,
kook.
literally. But yeah, I was like, they rock on, man. They're cool as they're really
super
cool.
talented.
Cool. Yeah, super cool.
So sweet, so talented. We were like, obviously every band we share a bill with is phenomenal.
How does that work? You say you got signed to an agency, so just
Yeah, I'm not technically signed with them. However, I work with Live Acts Canada.
Yeah.
And so, they'll come to me with a gig or a date, or I'll say, hey, I want to play this venue. And the CEO, Kevin, comes to me and gives me dates or whatever. And he's so fantastic. Like, working with them has been so wonderful. And I'll just say, hey, like, they'll say, hey, these are the dates. This is the venue for the Fox. I was like, I really, really want to play the Fox. And took a couple months. The Fox didn't have anything available. And then one day, Kevin was like, hey, we've got a spot for you. And I was like,
let's go.
Done, let's go. Yeah, I've played with them with the Roxy was the first. No, I played Portside twice. The Roxy with them, the Blarney Stone, and now the Fox. And then we have some other dates aligned with them as well.
Can you tell us? Or no?
Yeah, I'm playing the Biltmore
Oh, no way.
on July 4th. Pretty sure that's set.
Yes.
We have to chat about it a little bit more, but like those are the dates that I was offered.
Cool.
So I think that July 4th at the Biltmore will be another one, and then the other shows, like I'm opening for Zoe Twist.
Yes. We just had her on the show.
Yeah, July 26th, which will be so fun.
Yes.
Yeah, those are all that I have at this moment for myself personally.
And obviously you're pushing this EP, or this song, sorry, Hydra's Revenge.
Yeah.
When do you plan to how far in advance do you plan, like, is that the thing, like you drop one and then you're like scrambling again to go on to the next one?
Not really. I feel like my release dates have been very sporadic. Like the first one I released was December of 2022. Second one was September of 2023. And then I released March 2024. And then now this one would be May 2025. So it's like I kind of have done a song a year, which I would like to get to a more consistent release schedule, but releasing music is expensive.
Yes, it is.
But I would like to kind of have more of a more consistent and be releasing not every month, but like maybe every couple of months, just to stay relevant and stay consistent. I mean, I'm not in any rush per se. Like I think releasing a project would be really incredible just for myself to be like, hey, let me like just take everything that's happened in the past 3 years and put it into one project and put it into a little capsule and then
get back on
the horse.
What you were saying, writing these upbeat, even more
and then
popular
kind of
songs.
like transition into some other things. And like I've kind of done this for a couple of years. Let's wrap it up and then let's move on and get on to other things and kind of just like go with where my life is headed. I think would be really cool.
But no time limit as such.
No, I mean, like I'm still independent. I don't have anybody telling me what to do. So I think for the time being, I'm going to enjoy that and kind of just do what I want, which I think is a really beautiful spot to be in.
And then you can be more creative for other projects and stuff like that.
Do you have any music videos planned, or have you made any music videos before?
I haven't done a professional or a music video yet. I've just kind of like done DIY stuff, which I think is really fun. And
you at the beach, right?
Yeah.
And then you in the forest.
Yeah.
They're little snippets.
There's little snippets, like me and my bass player just literally go with a little vintage camera.
It is a vintage. I was going to ask, is that a filter or is that a vintage?
No, it's just a vintage. It's like a 2010 camera, and we've just gone and done DIY stuff. I mean,
oh wow.
And there's part of me that like I really want to get into like making like high quality, like high budget stuff, but I'm like,
sometimes just low key can be better.
While I'm smaller and I'm a small independent artist, like I think that's kind of the charm of it, is like making these little DIY projects, and like it's just me and my friends, and it's there's something really sweet about it and like really fun that I really like. But no, I'd love to shoot like a professional music video, and I'd love to do like professional stuff, and I'd love to make like an actual music video for Hydra's Revenge. Right now there's like a lyric visualizer type situation on YouTube.
Are you working with like AI kind of thing? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just doing it all myself.
No, but is it an AI digitalizer? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's just literally the same clip, like a visualizer. Like
oh wow, okay, cool.
Yeah, I have enough clips that I could probably put together something, but I'm not like singing the lyrics, so it's not like a full music video. But I mean, would love the opportunity if there's anybody out there who wants to, hey Taylor, and make a video. But I don't have any plans for like an actual music video. I've just kind of like done things DIY. I think maybe like getting my MacBook and like making like a MacBook photo booth music video would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of my idea for Hydra's Revenge. I might do that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't know yet. I don't know. We're just coasting.
The future is bright.
It is so bright. It's blinding.
Yeah. Summer's right around the corner.
Summer's right around the corner.
Maya, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. Please go and check out Hydra's Revenge and all of the other songs that are on our Spotify. What is your Spotify handle, Instagram handle, and all the good stuff?
Yeah, Spotify is Mya Lowe. Instagram is Mya.Lowe. TikTok is Mya Lowe Music.
There you go.
Yeah.
And this has been the Split E podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Please like, subscribe, tell a friend, and we'll see you at some shows.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Thanks again. Cheers.